This episode of the Gamerheads Podcast is brought to you by Seven Bridges Premium Gourmet Yum Yum Sauce. Enhance every bite with our savory blends of flavors, perfect for meats, vegetables, and crispy treats. Whether you're dipping, drizzling, marinating, grilling, roasting, or snacking, Seven Bridges Yum Yum Sauce takes your culinary experience to the next level. Get yours today and make every meal a gourmet delight.
Hi, I'm Celia Schilling from Yacht Club Games.
Hey, this is James from Mega Cat Studios.
Hey folks, this is Matt, aka Stormageddon from Reignite and the Fun and Games podcast.
This is Stephanie from the Boss Rush podcast and the Boss Rush Network.
Hey, this is Mark and Keon from Bonte Avond.
Hey, this is Sebastian with the ProNerdReport.com and the Single Player Experience podcast.
Hi, this is Chris.
Mike.
And Garrett from Daylight Basement Studio.
Hey, this is Baron J67 from Level 1 Gaming.
Hi, I'm Jacob McCourt from the Left Behind Game Club, Crossplay Conversations, and Video Game Trivia.
Hey, this is Todd Mitchell from Code Right Play.
Salutations, this is Mike Carroll from Stroll Art.
Hey, this is Jeff Moonen from Fun and Games Podcast.
What's good, y'all? This is Adam from Respawn Aimfire.
Hey, this is Patrick from the Backlog Odyssey.
Hey, this is Rune from Runic Codes.
Hi, this is Andrew from Spalato Bros.
Hi, everyone. Jill Grote here from the Indie Informer.
Hello, this is the Crypt Master, and you're listening to Roger You're listening to Roger on the Gamerheads Podcast.
And welcome to another episode of the Gamerheads Podcast. My name is Roger, and this week I have a very special guest joining me. I have Sebastian Asaro, the developer behind the game Barty's Adventure. Sebastian, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule and meeting with me to talk about your game.
No, thanks for having me. This is super exciting to talk about the game, to be on the show. And I know we were supposed to meet up at PAX, and it didn't quite happen, but we're here now, and this is awesome. This is great.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to meet with you, and first of all, it was my mistake because I was on the wrong day, and I'm like, yeah, let's meet on Friday, and you're like. No, I thought I said Thursday, but I said Friday, and you said, wait, Friday. And I was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? What's going on here? And then we finally set a date, and then we couldn't meet. But now here we are.
Right here.
So
that's what matters.
That's what matters. That was matters. So thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule. And so I want to know a little bit about yourself before we start talking about the game, though. So tell us about yourself. How did you get into game developing?
Yeah, so I've always kind of had a creative hobby, creative passion that I've always worked on the side of what my normal job has been. And this has been for years, forever. I am a lawyer by trade, so I am probably as far removed from creative game development as you could be in my professional career.
Yeah.
But I've always had something, so I was in a band in college, and then I started a podcast about video games because I've always loved games. Me and my brother, we've always played growing up, and that kind of led me to just fooling around with code, being like, oh, what's up with coding? Let's see what that is. And I was taking a couple, I think they're Udemy courses, the website. I took a couple of those, and I was like, "Oh, this is scratching a weird itch that I didn't know I had." I could be creative and be weird and create all my weird characters, but at the same time, I'm solving puzzles. It's almost like the problem-solving aspect of it, of creating something that doesn't work at all, and then having to suss out what it is and create it. That hit really hard for me.
Yeah.
So the mash of those two together, and already having this passion for video games, I with no experience in coding, no experience in design, art, anything, a little music experience, I decided I was going to make a game, and 6 years later, I'm here.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's amazing. First of all, kudos to you for doing something that I find very intimidating. Because I do like solving problems too, but I look at code and my mind just stops instantly. And it's not a good thing. I used to work. Well, I used to work in IT, and a lot of times the developers would show me the code because I didn't code. I was a business analyst,
okay.
And I would and I would say, explain it to me like I don't understand code, because the truth was I didn't understand the code, right? So, but kudos for you. Like, I think that's such an awesome undertaking, and what a fun way to discover something about yourself, right?
Yeah, it's really strange, and like it happened at this weird time of my life too. So I started right around the same time when we found out, my wife and I, that she was pregnant with our first child.
Yeah.
So like having that on the horizon, trying this new hobby that really started taking over all of my free time until we had the kid, and now my daughter, and now yeah, it's just like been this passion of mine that I just like fully developed over years at this point.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I feel like the game may be influenced a little bit from maybe the experience of expecting a baby, but for those that are not familiar with the game, can you tell us what the premise of Barty's Adventure is?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and it highly inspired by that experience. I like to describe it as like Majora's Mask meets Toy Story. So you have a 3-day time loop. You're waiting for this big impending thing that's coming at the end of 3 days. In this case, it's a baby arriving in the house. But you play as these children's toys. A Barty bear in particular, a teddy bear. And he has to get ready for the coming of the new baby. The problem is the baby, the toys in the house have already experienced this a couple of times. And the last time when a baby came to the house, a disaster struck, which is called the colic. So because the colic came last time, all the toys are pretty traumatized and think that the world is going to end once again when this new baby arrives. So it is your job to prevent the colic from coming, but by getting you can do it a variety of different ways. There's different win conditions, but by getting certain toys, getting certain stuffies or things to soothe the baby when they come, and depending on what you get, you determines the ending and whether the colic arrives or not.
Yeah, I love that. I love the premise because it's just such a cool idea. And it's something that, as a parent, I can relate to as well. So when I was playing it, I'm like, oh yeah, I can feel this, and I don't want to say impending doom, but impending change, right? That's going to happen in your life, right? So what a great concept. I love that so much.
Thanks. Yeah, it's that mixed with, and then like the time cycle, like the 3 days repeating over and over again. I mean, that's like, you're doing the early days of parenthood. You are doing the same thing: feedings, changings, sleep, swaddle. Like, it's almost like a rhythm. We also had my first daughter. We had her in 2020 during the pandemic. So those repeating days, we're losing track. We have my wife and I have no idea what day it is. We don't know what time it is at any. So that kind of like repetition, I've also tried to bake in with that time loop, just to kind of like reinforce those early parenthood like themes.
Yeah, I love that. It's funny because we talked about this off air, but my daughter, my youngest child, is around the same age, just a little bit older. She just turned 6 in November of last year. So she's also a pandemic, born during the pandemic. Well, she's born a little bit before the pandemic, but like her experience was very like, this is her life changed dramatically when I had to go back to work. It's like, what is this? What's happening here? Right. So, but yeah, what a interesting time. And then to be able to tie in, some of those themes, not exactly like saying, the pandemic, but some themes behind that is a fantastic idea. I love that so much.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. It's it's a new skill, right? Like game development, as I said, I don't have those skills, so I'm learning them on the fly. So I thought the best thing is just what I'm experiencing. Let's just put that in the game. Try to capture this feeling right now.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I love about the game, is that it has a lot of heart to it. You've already mentioned a couple of the games, but can you talk a little bit about some of the inspiration behind the game? I know you mentioned Majora's Mask. What are some of the other inspirations behind the game?
Yeah, Majora's Mask actually came like early on, but it wasn't the first idea. So the first iteration I had and I started going with was I just wanted to make a combination of all my favorite games. So I was like, let's just smush them all together and see what happens. So the first thing I wanted to do was make like I love Hollow Knight. I wanted to make like every other person in the world a pixel platformer. It's the thing to make, right?
Yeah.
So I started making like a platformer and a Metroidvania. But my idea was I also have a strong love for Stardew Valley that I kudo. So I wanted to bake in a relationship system in it as well, because the NPCs at Stardew are just like fantastic, and being able to build those relationships throughout the game. So I was like, all right, well, with the Metroidvania, you're constantly getting progression. Maybe I can have that tie into the relationship system somehow. So I started doing those together. And then as the months towards my child came shorter and shorter, as the birth started coming up on me, and I'm 3 months into the pandemic at this point, I'm like, I think I saw Majora's Mask somewhere online, and I was like, oh no, I need to switch gears here.
Wow.
And that kind of baked in it's where I started thinking about the time loop and how I could do that and kind of make it a little more of an homage to what Majora's Mask did, but kind of put my own spin on it. But that said, I still have the Metroidvania elements in there from the base. The relationship system is built. It's a little different than what's in Stardew. In Barty, it's like, so in most farming sims or most like cozy games like that, you start at 0 and you just build up, and you get better and better relationship. Here, I want to try something different. I started at 0, but you could go up to like 5 hearts, or you could go up, but you could also go down.
Yeah.
So you are either making a best friend or even a partner, or you're making a nemesis, and those people are a rival, and those people actually turn into boss battles in the game if you piss them off enough. So like having a deep relationship system like that, I wanted to include. And then I started looking at time loop games, and I'm like, oh, there's a million of these. So Deathloop, actually, which aesthetically is like the farthest from what I'm doing, but it has a really cool like resource management system when you keep things from loop to loop. So I just kind of smushed that in there as well. I love Banjo-Kazooie, the cast of characters there, so I wanted to try to emulate that. Chicory even, and the kind of like cozy vibes. So like just trying to, like I said, literally just a smorgasbord of my favorite games, and just stealing all these other really talented developers' ideas and just try to thread them together and make something that's edible at the end.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think so. I mean, that is a huge undertaking, especially this is your first game. You haven't made a game before this, right? This is your first game. So.
No, this is it sounds crazier every time somebody says.
But I mean, it's, again, like what I love is the passion that you have behind it, and the challenges that you face. So there had to have been lots of challenges. What were some of the challenges that you faced, and how did you overcome those challenges?
Yeah, so not knowing anything obviously is a huge challenge, right? Like I need to teach myself everything as I go along. So what I did is when I first started out, I chose GameMaker as my engine that I'm going to use. I heard that it's a lot more user friendly than something like Unity or Unreal. And for somebody in my situation, I think, okay, like let's see how that works. I also look at Undertale, which was made in GameMaker. I'm like, maybe a little naive looking at it and being like, I make art like that. Yeah, maybe I could do that.
Yeah.
Which, like, nobody can touch Toby Fox when it comes to writing like that. But, picking GameMaker to start was actually gave me a leg up on kind of bridging the gap of my lack of knowledge, because it has a ridiculously good manual. It has an unbelievable community, and like YouTube, you have anything you want to learn in GameMaker, there are tutorials for.
Nice.
So that was humongous. And at like worst case scenario, they had a good Discord server too. So I having that initial, I like kind of lucked into making the right choice there because I'm sure Unreal, I'm sure Unity, Godot, they all have good communities as well. But knowing that I had this and I had the tutorials and I could kind of like build it piece by piece by teaching myself through all their resources, I think was a challenge. It was a lift that I don't think somebody with a background in game development or even coding would have to do. But it's something that but like I said, I enjoyed it. I liked learning this stuff.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really it wasn't tedious learning it. I could learn and create at the same time, which was great.
Yeah, that's awesome. One of the things that I find really interesting is when people take on a journey like this, building something, they learn something about themselves. What did you learn about yourself while developing this game?
That I am very stubborn. I don't mean to be that. Sorry, I don't mean to be so flippant about it, but yeah, I have a lot of motivation, and I've known that about myself. That if I put my mind to it, I'll do it. I think this more than anything else, I have been, it has been so much more evident to me how stubborn I will be. I'll say in a good way to get this done. That no matter what life has thrown, I mean, we've had 2 kids during my wife and I during this process. We moved. I've had 3 different full-time jobs now. It's been a period of 6 years. Like, it's been a long time. So I changing schedules, finding where the free time is, like being creative, learning that that when I do feel this passionately about something, that I will go above and beyond to get it done, I think was a big, like, oh, wow, okay, this is a new part of me that I'm kind of unblocking here. A part that I like, I just need to figure out where it fits in with the rest of my life realistically.
Yeah, I think that's the hardest part is, because I know for me, I'll speak for myself, but I mean, I'm sure you feel the same way. It's just, you have this passion, you have this drive, but how do you fit that all together with everything else that's going on in your life? And I think that's, to me, I think that is the hardest part for anybody who wants to create something that's outside of what they would normally do, right? Is like, how do you fit that all into and give everything its fair piece of time, right? Including something that you're creating, right? And I think, to me, I think that's remarkable that you're creating this game, and that, I mean, for me, I know 6 years sounds like a long time, but I don't think so. I think like 6 years is a really short amount of time for going from nothing to building something. I think is incredible. So,
oh, thank you.
Yeah,
let's get it out there first.
Well, it's true. That's true, right? Yeah. How? I mean, can I ask that question? And I'm going to ask it. I don't know why I just said, "Can I ask that question?" I'm going to ask the question. Whether or not you answer it is another thing. But how far along do you feel like you are? I mean, are you close? Do you think to getting an early access? Are you going that route? What are your thoughts?
So I don't want to do early access because I feel like that would almost, like, in my mind, for twofold. One, for Metroidvanias, for this kind of style of game, you don't really see early access. So I think that people kind of look at it with a kind of side eye a little bit. But 2, motivation wise, I want to, when I get something out there, I want it to be out there. I want it to be good. I want it to be done. When I released the demo, it was a big, I did that last July, the first demo that we had.
Okay.
And I say we. I say we all the time. It's just me. It's I don't know why I say we all the time, but I do. For some reason, I do. So don't get confused. It is me. But when the demo was released last summer, it was a big exhale moment. Like I took like 2 months off, just completely dropped it. So I am. There is that concern in the back of my mind that if I go early access and I start seeing things come in, and like I want to capitalize on those comments, that player testing, that feedback, that would be fantastic. I don't know for sure that my morale could take it. You know, like, especially if it's something that I'm not completely comfortable is finished. It's not the finished product. So early access probably not. But that said, I'm pretty deep into production. I have announced that we're targeting this year for release, 2026. I have a date in mind. I'm already certain that I'm missing that date. So probably the second half of 2026.
Is that exclusive content right here? I'm just kidding.
The 2026. I announced the 2026.
Yeah.
The fact that the date was the date was very soon. It is coming up very quickly.
Yeah.
And the game will not be ready at all. Yeah. So I am shooting for the fall. I will say that. And that's exclusive because I have not done that yet. But at the end of the day, like I realize I've worked on it for a long time. It needs to be done. So like it needs to be in a completed state that I'm happy with.
Yeah.
So if it has to push again, it has to push. It's disappointing, but it has to push again. Yeah. I wouldn't want to just rush it and get it out there without what I want it to be.
Yeah.
Just to say that I got it out there at a certain time frame.
Yeah. I'm going to ask a question that wasn't part of my questions.
That's fine. No, go for it.
I think one of the things that I find really fascinating too is like creating something. How and I mean it is part of you and it is part of you, but also it's not part of you, right? Like you have to separate yourself from your creation. Can you talk a little bit about maybe your process around like your creative process and how do you separate like your, I don't know, putting yourself into it too much and letting it to have its own space, I guess.
Yeah, I've struggled with that with other things. Like I mentioned, I made music like in college. I would really struggle with that because like, it's such a vulnerable thing, right? Like to put your emotions and to put things out there into the world. What's helped me over these past years kind of be more comfortable with that idea is realizing that a lot of the experiences I had as a parent are shared experiences. So knowing that a lot of people, I mean, we just talked about it, like a lot of people went through similar things in early and still go through similar things in early parenthood. The kind of repetition, the kind of the big thing is like the losing yourself in like, who am I now? This change has happened to me and this is for the rest of my life. Who am I going to be going forward? So experiencing that, having those themes in the game, but also kind of over time, and it did take time to realize that that's not just me. That's a lot of people trying to figure that out, and like that's okay. It's a huge life event, becoming a parent or whatever it is. I mean, there are other life events that this could fit in with, but it's I lost my train of thought a little bit, but there's that $10 edit for you.
Yeah, there you go. This is $1.
All right, 2028 for the game.
Yeah,
just pushed it 2 years. Come on.
Yeah, but I think what you said there though is it is. I think it resonates really well, especially like for me too. Like you have to be vulnerable. Right. And but also have to allow that product that you're building to be able to stand on its own and separate yourself from it as well. Right. Sometimes you get this, and I think music is a great thing because I also played a band in college. I don't know. It feels like we both like live the same lives here.
Yeah.
Except I'm not making a game.
Always good.
No, thank you. But I think that resonates really well with me too, is like, you are putting yourself out there. You are being vulnerable, right? But also there is this moment of separating yourself from the work as well and letting it grow and breathe and be letting it like kicking out of the nest and letting it go and letting it fly, right? So raising kids, kind of, right?
There you go. It's just another child. Like
it is. Well, in a way, right? Like I would say, like it's to me, what I find most interesting about your story is the fact that you were doing this at the same time that you found out your wife is pregnant, right? And it's like this growth and this movement. Like there had to been a lot of influence of like what's happening to you as a parent that influences what happens in the game, and and art reflects life, and it's just like that to me, I think is such an incredible story of yours that is told through this game. So.
Thank you. Yeah. And there are those moments in the game. One example a less serious moment, maybe, is that one of the first areas I built out was the diaper pail, and
Okay.
it is flooded with dirty diaper enemies that you have to defeat. And that just represented what I was going through for a little time in my life, where
Yeah.
the endless diapers that I'm changing. So, yes, that kind of stuff. Exactly. That's exactly it. It's kind of there is so much of me in this game, but it's also, there's other, like, it's not universal, but at the same time, there are themes in there that I feel like most people can relate to.
Yeah.
And if not, there are silly characters like ducks and turtles and Jack in the Boxes. So,
Yeah.
like, take it or leave it, I guess, at that point.
Yeah. I love that. My last question before I wrap things up. When people play this game, what do you hope they walk away with their experience?
I want them to be able to feel. That's a good question. When they walk away, I want them to play the game first. I mean, that was my first.
Sure.
When they walk away with it, I want them just to have a smile, on their face. I want them to have had fun and like found it somewhat bright. I know a lot of the themes are kind of anxiety ridden. There's a lot of impending stuff going on, big changes, but at the same time, I feel like I put enough, or I put enough. Makes it sound really scientific, but I am trying to like show enough enough care. Like the characters are heartfelt. I feel like I'm trying to show that kind of brighter side of games. One of the big things I really wanted to do, like going into this, was like, all right, every Metroidvania I have played takes place either underground or in gloom. And I know
It's true.
It's a blanket statement. There's islands exist, but it's yeah, like for the most part. So I'm like, okay, like I want something on the other side of that spectrum. I want something, it might be difficult at times. It may be uncomfortable. It might have bigger themes or larger discussion points that happen. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of love. There's a lot of care. And I just want people to feel like they could relate to it and in a happy way. Not that the anxiety aspect of it, but like, hey, these are fun characters, a good world. And yeah, I enjoyed my time with it, I guess. It's strange having something so big and over so much time to even think about people reacting to it. So I guess I'm now going into that phase of development.
Yeah. I love that. How can people follow you on social media, and your game is on Steam, so they can go wishlist it as well, correct?
Yes. Number one. Yes, please. Obviously, you hear it everywhere, but wish lists are huge. We had a demo out that was revamped for PAX East, so that is also on Steam, so you can find it there and play that. And then I'm on Blue Sky, now on Instagram, TikTok, and other things. YouTube. Marketing is also a great part of being.
I will say that is probably that is the common thread, I will say, amongst all indie developers. When I talk to them, is like, what is the biggest thing that you learned? And they're like, marketing. Like marketing things is like something I did not expect to do, and here I am like marketing my product. And I think that's a really difficult thing to do. Like
it's a whole. I majored in marketing in undergrad, so it's like that was my whole thing. And now I'm like, how do I do that again? I don't. I'm not totally sure. But yeah, it's Barty's Adventure on any of them if you look it up. We're not on X or Twitter, so I mean, we might still have an account there, but I haven't posted in years, so please don't.
Yeah, I'll put the links in the show notes for folks to follow. Yeah. Sebastian, I really enjoyed our conversation. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day and meeting with me and talking about the game. This was really fun, and I'm glad I got to know you more through just not just the game, but through the interview as well.
Same. I mean, we got to hang out now because we're both.
That's right.
We have similar lives. No, this was fantastic. Thank you so much for having me on and being able to share a little.
Yeah. And listeners, go check out the game. I'll put the links out there. Wishlist it. Follow Sebastian on Blue Sky. I'll put the link out there as well. Until next week, everyone, stay safe and game on. Bye.